About It Thursdays that I've done by myself in a while because I wanted to just focus on Hanukkah and some crazy Hanukkah facts. Say hi if you're here. We're going to wait and see if I am live. So give it a second because I don't think we're live yet, but let me see in a second. If you see me, say hi. Oh, it looks like we're live. I got an alert. So happy Hanukkah. This is also my debut of the special little overlays that I was able to put on. So there's our big happy Hanukkah sign that will stay with us. But tonight is the first night of Hanukkah. Crazy. Again, say hi if you're here. So I know you're watching. Hi, Jay. I know Jay's here and I know my mom's here. So it's a party. But for those of you who are here, if you want, click share and share that we're live right now. And as I said, you're going to get some sneak peeks at our special Hanukkah videos that we have been working really hard on. I'm going to give me a second so I can share and everyone knows that we are live. 1 second. Oh, and there's my dog barking because he wants to come in. Where are you? Here you are. Okay. So, first of all, is anybody making latkes tonight? Are you doing any virtual Zoom Hanukkahs? Is anybody in a bubble where you're able to get together and see friends and family? Tell me a little bit about your social plans as we wait for our friends to join. I'm also going to share this real quick because for some reason it just always helps. So give me 1 second. If you guys want to press share, you can too. There should be an option on these things. Live now. Happy Hanukkah. Okay. So we don't have a lot of time today because I have to be somewhere at 11. But I'm going to start with some crazy Hanukkah facts. Hi, Dorothy. Yes, to tell you all of these things. Loving Hanukkah. Dorothy, I hope that you have a wonderful Hanukkah. I don't know if you're going to be able to see your grandkids or I know that they're in your bubble because I saw your Pass the Candle virtual video. Very good job. I can't show you that video because Rabbi Aaron's still finishing it, but I am going to preview some really fun videos. Luckily about almost a month ago, we were really prepared and we went and recorded outside. It was one of those 45-degree nights and we recorded in the backyard at someone's house. And so that's when you saw the I Am a Little Dreidel video, it was very cold. I was so cold. I'm still cold from that night. But let's start with a couple of, apparently my thing is labeled as chair yoga. That would be extremely confusing. Give me 1 second. That's maybe why people are confused because I'm not doing gentle chair yoga. Hold on. This is called Think About It Thursdays. You have to thank Karen Porper. If you don't know Karen Porper, Think About It Thursdays Hanukkah edition. Okay. Now it should say the right thing. I'm going to share the first fact. Actually, I'm going to give you guys a question to think about as I fix the YouTube, and I'll see if you have answers. So it's known today that the traditional Hanukkah meal is potato pancakes, really playing off the concept of the lasting oil. But this is your first trivia question. Karen, I see you're still texting me. I fixed it on Facebook. I'll fix it on YouTube in a second. But what was the original Hanukkah meal made from? What was the original Hanukkah meal made from? Any guesses? Let's see if I can add this as a question here. There we go. There's your question right there. All right, let's see if you have any guesses. What was the original Hanukkah meal made from? And I'm editing this. What? You don't have a clue. The sacrifices? That's a good one, Jay. That's pretty funny. But it has to do with a woman who was a widow. This is your hint, named Judith. Any thoughts? Any thoughts, anyone? Let's think about that. Judith. You could even Google a little if you want to. So it has to do with Judith. She was around long before the Hanukkah miracle, and I'm going to tell you in 1 second, unless I see any other guesses, and I can't seem to change. If you're already on YouTube, you can see that this is not gentle yoga. I apologize that the title is wrong. And maybe someone can comment and tell people. Okay, so blintzes, it was not made out of blintzes. However, and I want to give you the exact, okay. So Judith was a widow. I'm kind of giving you the background of it. And this is a story that was kind of passed down through the centuries. And often Judith was known as the aunt or the daughter of Judah Maccabee, who, as many of you know, is the hero of the Hanukkah story. And so essentially, her story is that she went courageously. I'm trying to read you the exact quote, but it's, hold on 1 second. Essentially, she goes in the times of the war, the Assyrian people. She goes in and she essentially wins over the head of the army, and he becomes very seduced in here. I mean, by her. And the last meal, and essentially, she does whatever she wants with him, and then she cuts off her head. And so the last meal, here's the answer, that she served him was cheese. So actually the tradition was that cheese, and like I think like kind of like latkes made of cheese, that kind of stuff, was actually what was served. So the potato didn't come to Europe until way later. And so the original latkes came from like a fried cheese type of meal. So that is your answer. Here, I wanted you to read the actual paragraph. So she was a beautiful widow who lived in the town of Bethulia in Israel during the 6th century. An army set siege on the town, and Judith went into the enemy camp to meet with their leader, Holofernes, a general for Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Assyrians. Holofernes was so charmed by the widow that he drank too much wine and passed out, after which Judith took his sword and cut off his head. The severed head inspired the Israelites to attack, and the Assyrians fled. So there you go, cheese. So if you would like to add some cheese to your meals, I mean, actually, many dairy holidays, Shavuot, we have blintzes or cheesecake and stuff like that. So cheese is pretty common in the Jewish tradition. But there you go, cheese. Okay. Let's do some fun facts that I found. So some of them are boring. Like a lot of us know this. We treat Hanukkah like a major holiday, but really it isn't. It's no Shalosh Regalim, which is Passover, Pesach, and Shavuot. It's become a bigger deal in modern times because it's close to Hanukkah. Of course, the date changes. Next year, high holidays are September 6th, so the whole calendar, the whole lunar calendar is earlier than the regular calendar. So high holidays are September 6th, and I believe Hanukkah next year, well, it would be about 2 weeks earlier than it is, 2 to 3 weeks earlier than it is now. So I think it overlaps. So overlap with, it's like right after Thanksgiving next year. But here is a fun fact. How many, or actually trivia, donuts are eaten in Israel during Hanukkah? You know, the Israelis really pick up on their sufganiyot. How many donuts are eaten in Israel on Hanukkah? Any guesses? Let's see if we have some guesses. And Jay, yes, blintzes are made with cheese. I have to read Jay's. 1 million? Sufganiyot? 1,000? So, by the way, if you don't follow 1 million, Karen says, okay, so if you don't follow Cantor Evan Kent, who's the Cantor Emeritus from Temple Isaiah, he and his husband, Rabbi Don Gore, moved to Israel. They made Aliyah, and he does all of these blog posts about Sufganiyot in Israel. But the answer is, 17.5 million donuts are eaten in Israel. That's just crazy. We're going to have to figure out how many are eaten in the United States, but 17.5 million donuts are eaten in Israel. I mean, can I get some oohs and ahs in the chats? Ooh, ah. I mean, that's a lot of donuts. That's a lot. Let's do another. Okay, so I kind of alluded to this, but where did the gift giving start to really happen for Hanukkah? Who'd like to tell me? Yes, Dorothy, they all go on donuts. Oh, I got the ah. Oh, perfect. I got an ooh from Jay and an ah. So like 2 million a day. Yeah, that's true, Karen. Although maybe they start early with the donut eating. But Karen guessed 1 million originally, so 17 and a half times that. That is a lot of donuts. Okay, so let's go back to what I was just saying. Why do we give gifts? Is it a traditional part? Oh, sis, you're gonna have to do some math. 17.5 million times. I would say a donut has, at least 300 to 400 calories if it's not giant. So it's a lot of calories. Okay, so first of all, the reason we give gifts is because it's near Christmas. And so why not give gifts? That's really why. Okay, I like this one. I always grew up spelling Hanukkah, Chanukah, Hanukkah, which is how it spells in Hebrew with a chet, with a ch sound. But as you can see from my fancy sign right there, this is the way that Temple Emmanuel spells it, Hanukkah, Hanukkah. So how many different ways are there to spell Hanukkah? Let's start writing. I already gave you one. How many different ways? And I will tell you, this does become a touchy subject when you're in a staff meeting and everybody wants to spell Hanukkah a different way. So how do you spell Hanukkah? How do you spell Hanukkah? Sis says 6. Jay says 5. Let's see if they actually give me all the different ways. All right. They don't, but I will tell you that the answer is actually 16 different ways to spell Hanukkah. You know, I think some of them are, you could spell Hanukkah, Hanukkah, Chanukkah. I've only seen it the traditional way. Well, see, Dorothy, it's funny you're calling it the traditional way. I don't know what the actual traditional way is. So I've graduated to toddlery. So Dorothy, does that mean Chan? Is that how you've always spelled it? Like, I'm going to put it in here. You have to come up on your screen. Is that how you spell it? You can look on the bottom of the screen. That's how I always spelled it. So I had to adapt to the manual way. Okay. Let's move on to one or two more facts before I show some videos. So what do you call the thing we light every night of Hanukkah? Yes, the CH way. Okay, got it, Dorothy. The thing we light for Hanukkah that's on that picture right there. That's on that picture. What's that called? Yes, Karen, I'm with you. That's how I've always spelled Hanukkah. So you might know that we have, right, Jay said Hanukkah, but Jay's a menorah. So this is what you should know. Like if you look at Temple Manual on our wall of our sanctuary, we have, it's actually a menorah. A menorah actually has 7 lights. What we light for Hanukkah with the shamash and 8 candles is a Hanukkah. So over time, many of us call it a menorah because that's like the brand name, but it's Hanukkah. So I wouldn't shame people, but I do like for people to know that what we light on Hanukkah is actually a Hanukkah, which is different than a menorah, which again, next time you are blessed to go into our sanctuary, you will see our menorah up on, if you're looking at the bima, it's on the left side. So that is that. Okay, I had some other funny facts that I wanted to share. Well, by the way, some of you guys lit the candles for us for our Pass the Candle video, but which way are you supposed to put the matches in versus which way are you supposed to light the Hanukkah? Yes. Dorothy, I am not surprised that they correct you. They correct me. Okay. So, in the song that we recorded that we're going to show tomorrow night at Hanukkah services, we sing, "Tonight we light." This is Michelle Citron's song. "The Hanukkah candles from left to right." Okay? So, if you're facing the menorah, you always put in the newest candle. So first of all, you probably can't see my mouse, but in the Hanukkah, the first night would be the light closest to my face, right? That you put them in that way. And then the second night would be right next to that. But when you light it, as Karen said, you would light the newest candle from left to right so that each new candle gets their special moment. The same candle doesn't get to be lit every single night first. So yes, from left to right. And that's why I'm trying to see what I have funny here. I have some yoga mat spray I'll use to show you. So when we did the videos, we had people pass the candle from left to right. So that's going to be a really fun video. So speaking of videos, I thought that to start, and you'll have to type to me and tell me if you can see this. I'll go to my chat function. But I thought that I would play our Hanukkah medley. Now, the official debut of these new videos is tomorrow night, but I thought that I would sneak peek for the few people who are on here. So without further ado, hold on, I have to turn off this fun overlay to do this. Oh, you can see Chris Cuomo talking in the back. I'm going to do it this way, and I hope it works. Turn up your sound, and Here it is. Here is our Hanukkah medley. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed that. So many thank yous to, sorry, my ear is ringing. Many thank yous to Sue and Barry Brucker for letting us use their backyard. And it was a lot of fun. You'll see the official, like, high quality version will be in Hanukkah, which will be on our Hanukkah Shabbat tomorrow night. And it will also be, we'll put it out on YouTube and stuff like that, so you can share it. Okay, I said today had to be a little shorter, so I'm going to share one more video, and then we're going to call it a day. And I will see everybody tomorrow night at 6:15. Remember that you can join on Zoom, so you can light the Hanukkah your Hanukkah with us. So let me go ahead and load the last video, and I will end the stream from there. Let's see what I got. I think I'm going to show Miles Platt, our wonderful teen who has worked so hard for us this year, doing a song. So here we go. 1 second. Here we go. Have fun and happy Hanukkah.
Here's a fun song about Hanukkah called the Hanukkah song. Here we go. Put on your yarmulke, here comes Hanukkah. So much Hanukkah to celebrate Hanukkah. Hanukkah is the festival of lights. Instead of one day of presents, we got 8 crazy nights. So when you feel like the only kid in town without a Christmas tree, here's a list of people who are Jewish, just like you and me. David Lee Roth lights the menorah. So do James Conn, Kirk Douglas, and the late Dinah Shora. Guess who eats together at the Carnegie Deli? Bowser from Shanana and Arthur Fonzarelli. Paul Newman's half Jewish, Goldie Hawn's half too. Put them together, what a fine looking Jew. You don't need Deck the Halls or Jingle Bell Rock, 'cause you can spin a dreidel with Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock, both Jewish. Put on your yarmulke, it's time for Hanukkah. The owner of the Seattle Supersonicas celebrates Hanukkah. O.J. Simpson, not a Jew, but guess who is? Hall of Famer Rod Carew. You converted. We got Ed Landers and her sister dear Abby. Harrison Ford's a quarter Jewish, not too shabby. Some people think that Ebenezer Scrooge is. Well, he's not, but guess who is? All 3 Stooges. So many Jews are in showbiz. Tom Cruise isn't, but I heard his agent is. Woo-woo. Tell your friend Veronica it's time to celebrate Hanukkah. I hope I get a harmonica on this lovely, lovely Hanukkah. So drink your gin and tonica and smoke legal marijuana if you really, really wanna have a happy, 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 happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah! See you next time.